Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Aren't you tired of all the nonsense you hear from these financial shows like this?
Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine.
And then they went bankrupt. This is what I'm talking about. This is crazy. Your 401k, they take half of all the money you put away. Look, it's not about the money you're saving. It's about where you invest it and not in a 401k. Join my gang. Start using charts. I'll teach you how to use a chart so that you can maximize your returns on the money you do have. And the earlier you get started, the better. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. Boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Every month now, we get jobs. They give us the job numbers. We've been averaging, they tell us, 235,000 jobs a month. It's been a lie. That's a bogus number. The BLS, that counts the jobs, they use what they call the birth-death model system. What they do is they manipulate the jobs, so 40% of that number that you see is fake. That's right. If you take 235,000 jobs, the number really is 140,000. They bogus up about 95,000 jobs. But that's what goes on now on Wall Street. That's why you want to be a member of my gang, Phil's Gang, philsgang.com, because that way you get the truth. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Let me ask you, could you use a little extra money? Well, of course you could. Everybody could use that extra revenue to pay the bills, pay down debt, or save for retirement. With philsgang.com, we help you make that extra income in the stock market. For over 15 years, Phil Grande and philsgang.com helps folks who are interested in learning short-term and long-term investing by providing professional-level charting skills and strategies. philsgang.com is your number one source to learn, invest, and profit in the stock market. And you can do this for only $49.95 a month. With philsgang.com, you learn how to invest in the market. You get daily investment coaching guidance, and you will learn to invest and trade with the skills and confidence of the pros. Just log on and get daily investment instructions and make profits. Plus, all philsgang.com material is archived for your convenience. Go to philsgang.com to join or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Call today.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With the false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally. because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. Boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Do you know that in 17 years, a lot of the people in this audience have not had a pay increase? Effectively. You haven't had a pay increase. And then people wonder, why do I get 21,000 people to come and see me in Orlando? Why do I get 35,000 in Mobile, Alabama? And we have a packed airplane hangar. Why? The reason is we're sick and tired of what's going on.
The U.S., contrary to what you might hear from some of the candidates, has actually been a bastion of strength. Now, a lot of the things are
a bastion of strength. Don't believe the candidates. Don't believe Trump. No, they're making it all up. Are you kidding? Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country. The Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Big day today, Wisconsin. We'll see how that turns out. But here's what really gets me. These guys like Steve Leisman and then Juan Williams. Listen to what he says.
Let's not forget, we've seen job growth now over, several years. We have 5% unemployment. We added jobs just this week. So when you talk about the economy, you'd say, oh, well, that's pretty good.
You think these guys really believe this stuff? Are you kidding? Or Hillary Clinton?
We were coming together as a nation, and they reversed everything.
They reversed everything. Who's they? Who's they? Her husband. She went on to talk about the housing, the deregulation. But she says they instead of saying my husband. He's the one that did it. These people are just amazing. It just drives you nuts. Look, right now the stock market's down 88 points. The market's having a difficult time. I told you this last rally, after we had the 14% decline, which, again, if you were a gang member, you would have caught that decline because I had my gang set up to short the market. In fact, they were set up going all the way back to May and July of last year to short the market, and we caught it. And then they turned around and decided they wanted to move the stock market back up. The Federal Reserve, they want to move the stock market back up. See, that's what the job of the Federal Reserve is. That's all they do now. Their job is to move the market back up. So they did. They printed money, gave a whole bunch of free money out there to the companies to buy their own stock to move the market up another 14%. So it drops 14%, goes back up 14%, but it can't sustain itself. And when I hear these people say how the economy is doing well, how is that doing well? When stocks go up because you're buying your own shares back, stocks aren't going up because we have good jobs, we have good productivity. What are you, nuts? Juan Williams, the old saying is if you're dumb, why open your mouth and prove it? Between Leisman and Williams, I've never seen two guys, these two people, they're dopes, the both of them. Wages have fallen off a cliff. They've fallen so low that a 2 income family is now 15% poor under Obama than a one-income family under Clinton. That's right. And as far as economic growth, productivity, which sets our standard of living, Clinton's worst year was better than Obama's best year. Our standard of living has collapsed because there's no productivity. The reason, see, Clinton, like Reagan, they did a great job. Our standard of living went up. Their economies grew. But Obama's not only stagnated, but it contracted. That's why you don't feel good when you hear these guys say, oh, things are doing terrific. When you hear these guys on Wall Street, these dopes on CNBC. See, Reagan and Clinton, they didn't impede economic growth like Obama. And so will Clinton, they believe me, and Sanders if he gets elected. See, unlike Obama, Reagan and Clinton, they didn't increase taxes, especially capital gains tax. In fact, Clinton and Reagan both cut capital gains tax. And I remember when Obama was running the first time around, they asked him on 60 Minutes, why are you doing an increase in capital gains? Listen to what the dope says.
And in each instance, when the rate dropped, revenues from the tax increased. The government took in more money. And in the 1980s, when the tax was increased to 28%, the revenues went down. So why raise it at all, especially given the fact that 100 million people in this country own stock and would be affected?
Well, Charlie, what I've said is that I would look at raising the capital gains tax for purposes of fairness.
Purpose of fairness. That's not what a CEO of a company is supposed to do. He's the CEO of the United States. You're supposed to get returns, especially for the middle class. I mean, 100 million people in the stock market, for heaven's sakes, and his answer was, well, fairness. His answer was really a socialist. But at least Clinton said, because if we get capital gains up and they can make more money, they'll reinvest it and we'll get more productivity and our standard of living will go up. See, as a community organizer who never held a real job, he doesn't get that. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand how the economy works. He doesn't have a clue that economic growth and good standard of living comes from productivity. He doesn't understand what productivity is. He thinks productivity is getting his golf balls out of the bag, and hitting it 200 yards. That's productivity to him. It's meaningful jobs. It's savings, it's capital and business investment. But the real big thing is business spending, which we have none of. So Clinton and Reagan both cut capital tax, the capital gains tax, and look what happened. The economy exploded. Obama raised the capital gains tax and the economy contracted. And he did something worse than Obama. Obama did something worse than Clinton and Reagan. Obama did something terrible. He increased regulations on small businesses. But Reagan and Clinton understood that's the last thing you do. You don't put regulations on small businesses. That will kill a small business. And that's where your jobs are, that's where they come from. It's unbelievable. And Clinton and Reagan, they repealed all these regulations. But Obama does the opposite. He goes to the small businesses, to the entrepreneurs, and he decides not to give them more freedom. He decides to give them less freedom, and he piles on regulation after regulation after regulation. And he decreases productivity, just the opposite of what Clinton did and Reagan. And we had some wonderful years under both those presidents. We have had the worst years under this dope. Our standard of living soared under both Reagan and Clinton. Our standard of living under this dope has contracted. And here's the problem. We've had less productivity. We've had less full-time jobs. We have less good-paying jobs. And if Hillary Clinton or Sanders win, they promise that they're going to keep the same policies as Obama. What, are you nuts? And I don't know what you heard the other night, but it was on one of these shows. I think it was on a Fox show where they sent this kid out to talk to Bernie Sanders, the socialist. All these young kids, all these college kids, socialists, and they asked, why do you like socialism? Do you know any place that it worked? And the answers just stunned you. Just stunned you. First, there was one guy they asked, he didn't have a tooth in his head. And they couldn't answer how socialism worked, or they couldn't answer why it didn't work anywhere. They didn't even know what they're talking about. They heard it from some professor and repeated it like a parakeet. Unbelievable. We'll be right back. Take a look at some stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Yellen came out and told us that she is basically going to pull back the 25 basis point hike that she had in December, the quarter point, because the economy is bad. Then she's going to do quantitative easing. So what does that mean? That means as the economy gets worse, the market's going to go up. See, most people think when the economy's bad, the market should be going down. Just the opposite. Because when the economy is bad, the Federal Reserve comes in, prints money, gives it to the companies to buy their own shares back to push their stocks up. Because when the economy's bad, people aren't out spending and their stock doesn't go up. This is how they do it. A great opportunity. Don't miss it. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Become part of this wealth effect. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's so much bad news out there. Let me give you some good news. The good news is you can retire when you're 65 years of age. You can live the same lifestyle you've come accustomed to. But you're going to have to make a change. And what's that change? To get rid of your 401k. It's a scam. It doesn't work. We've never seen more people pulling their money out of 401ks than right now. $40 billion just in this last few quarters. Because they know it doesn't work. So they're taking their money and stuffing it in the mattress. That's not what to do. Look, it's not about the money you put away. It's about how you invest that money. And clearly 401ks don't work. But it does work here at Phil's Gang. philsgang.com, where we just got a return of over 35% in copper.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to this contradiction.
February existing home sales down 7.1%.
American consumers, they have more cash on hand.
What a contradiction. Matter of fact, all the information you get from all the different financial programs, it's all contradiction. But here at Phil's Gang, I will tell you the truth. Join my gang, philsgang.com. You will enjoy it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. It's 877-600-4264.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating the 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short Ford when it was November and it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine? Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Would you consider yourself a capitalist?
I'm more of a capitalist. A little bit capitalist, a little bit socialist, whatever works.
Socialism isn't the worst thing in the world.
Socialism's great until you run out of other people's money. Where has socialism worked?
I couldn't tell you exactly.
Do you take a lot of government assistance?
I take as much as I can get.
You're welcome. What do you do for a living?
I am a general manager at Subway.
So you're against corporations, but you work for a corporation?
I do.
What a bunch of morons. I mean, it's amazing how these people that admire Bernie Sanders, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands just like these people, they don't get it. They don't even know what socialism is. This one girl, he asked, you like oh, I love socialism. Well, tell me why. And tell me how it works. Which is, I don't want to go there. You don't want to go, but you say socialism works and you like so. No, I don't want to go there. Well, how does it work? Well, I don't want to go there. See, and that's how they are. It's amazing, isn't it? These young kids are being poisoned by these college professors. It's amazing. And the ones who didn't go to college, they're just lazy and they don't want to work. Why? Because our government, our administration we have now has disincentivized work. It's told not to work. Hey, I'll give you free insurance. I'll give you free health care. I mean, free cell phones, free everything. So what we're doing is we're telling the kids not to work. We're telling people don't work. Let's go take a look at some stocks. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you're a gang member. You'll have a nice retirement. And these guys here will be eating cat food. Unbelievable. Socialism.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to philsgang.com, click on the video channel graphic, and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
Now, we know the stock market is not a free market. We know the very wealthy rig the market. But that's okay as long as you're using a chart. And a chart gives you a direction in which to place, your investment. In other words, you always, with a chart, can identify where the institutions are placing their money. How nice is that? So you don't need to know. You don't need to know all the fundamentals. You don't need to know anything. You don't need to know about market cap or trailing PE or forward PE or none of that stuff. All you need to know is the institutions that own most of Starbucks. Are they putting money in? Or are they taking money out? It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, the nice thing about the gang membership, you don't have to spend time at it. I mean, you really don't. You don't have to spend a lot of time. When you join the gang, you're going to find out that we follow the same 5 stocks every day. They're named stocks: Goldman Sachs, Intel, IBM, Caterpillar, and Schlumberger. We have bonus stocks. And what we do is we're a teaching format, and when we put these positions out, and then we show you on a chart, so you learn, okay, now you see the money going in, and you do it a few times. It's not hard. You got to learn when the money is going in. That's simple. That's simple. And then when you add to your position, there's a certain pattern. It's so easy. It takes a couple minutes. It's a little pattern. You add. If you don't have that pattern, you don't add. And if you do add, you don't have the pattern, then what you're doing is you're what we call adding on risk. That's up to you. Everybody has their own risk parameter. But we teach you to make sure the thing that we want to make sure you don't lose money. That's what we focus on, not losing. Making money is easy if you can teach people how not to lose. How when they buy a stock that they have a plan in their head as to, okay, I'm going to get into this stock. This is the most I will lose, and I'll cut it right here. And here's where my gains are. When I get this gain, I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to take my money out. Very simple. And you got the best tools in the world. The best. When I say they're the best tools in the world. The best charting in the world. Because it's all geared to following the institution. So if J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs or Dodge & Cox or Northern Trust is going to buy, and we did this, if they're going to buy Macy's, here's one we did. It only takes a few minutes. So we showed on the chart, we showed the chart to our gang. We said, okay, here's where we think that we should enter. And we could show them right on the chart why. There was a position on the chart. It showed money was flowing in. And it showed that it wasn't just short covering, it was good money coming in. And Macy's went up 25%. And we stayed with you through that whole transaction. You learned all the way through it. Not like you're sitting there in class for 10 hours a day. You kidding? Couple minutes. Just work the same stocks. That's all. Doesn't matter what stock you're working. They're all the same. It's money goes in, they go up. If money comes out, they go down. It's that simple. So check it out. Here, just call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, and try it. Just try it. Every morning you got coffee talk. First thing in the morning, we have coffee talk. We set that up so we know what the market's doing, what happened overnight, and then we pick out our bonus stocks. And we discuss them. And then we start our class at 9:30. You can stay in the class as long as you want. 9:30 to 11, you just come on site. If you have time, fine. If you don't, fine, it's archived. You don't even have to do the class if you don't want. And then all day on those stocks, we have updates. So easy to do. So easy to do. So check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. And also while you're on that site, okay, you'll see a wonderful book. Because what we ask you, if you do good at Phil's Gang, if you really do, and you will, to please send money to St. Jude. And take a look at the book that's right there, Walter's Way. Wonderful book. We're going to do a sign. He's going to do a signing for us, Walter Shear. I'll let you know when that's going to happen. And the money for the book is split between St. Jude and Walter's Foundation. So very generous to do that. So check it out. And I'm telling you, this is not difficult to do. You've got to do something. If you think in your 401k with all the hidden fees where you're paying 2 to 3%, you think you can retire, it doesn't happen. It does not happen. It really doesn't. Join my gang right now. Call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. I'll be right back, and we'll take a look at some more stocks and also a little bit of the politics that are going on that's going to affect the stock market.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande, philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, every day we hear from Wall Street, you turn on the TV, and they're telling us how the economy's great, everything's great, and these are the same people that run the 401ks who, with a 2% fee, take more than half of your money and put it in their pocket. You will never retire comfortably in a 401k. But try to convince 90 million people, it's almost impossible. People just don't listen. They get comfortable and stay with these 401ks. They don't work. You're not going to be able to retire. It's simple. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Join the gang, try it for a month, and we're going to show you how to use a chart. And that is going to put you in such a comfort zone of retirement.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's so much bad news out there. Let me give you some good news. The good news is you can retire when you're 65 years of age. You can live the same lifestyle you've come accustomed to, but you're going to have to make a change. And what's that change? To get rid of your 401k. It's a scam. It doesn't work. We've never seen more people pulling their money out of 401ks than right now. $40 billion just in this last few quarters because they know it doesn't work. So they're taking their money and stuffing it in the mattress. That's not what to do. Look, it's not about the money you put away. It's about how you invest that money. And clearly 401ks don't work. But it does work here at Phil's Gang. philsgang.com, where we just got a return of over 35% in copper.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Yellen came out and told us that she is basically going to pull back the 25 basis point hike that she had in December, the quarter point, because the economy is bad. Then she's going to do quantitative easing. So what does that mean? That means as the economy gets worse, the market's going to go up. See, most people think when the economy's bad, the market should be going down. Just the opposite. Because when the economy is bad, the Federal Reserve comes in, prints money, gives it to the companies to buy their own shares back to push their stocks up. Because when the economy's bad, people aren't out spending and their stock doesn't go up. This is how they do it. A great opportunity. Don't miss it. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Become part of this wealth effect. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Put your money to work. Make your investments pay. Listen to Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Again, I'll let you know when we're going to have the signing for Walter. And it's Walter's Way. Remember, this is an award-winning book. And as I told you, the proceeds are going to be split between the Vera and Walter Scheer Family Foundation and also St. Jude. So I think that's wonderful. And you're going to meet a wonderful man And as I said, it's an award-winning book. The accomplishments of this man are iconic. I'm so anxious for you to meet him. I'm anxious for you to buy the book. I mean, he's 92 years young, and it's just so interesting talking to him. And what he's accomplished in his life is incredible. You know, you take the fax machine, right, for granted. There'd be no fax machine if it wasn't for Walter. He started the first publicly traded company for fax machine, Visual Sciences. I mean, it made a fortune. Then lost it because he got screwed by his Japanese partners, and then he starts up another company. It's just amazing. He just keeps going on, and he's still going on today. He's got more energy than I do. Check it out. It's Walter's Way. Walter Shares, the author. It's an award-winning book, and he's an award-winning guy. He's great. Okay. Now let's get back to, we got this election, and the problem we got with this election is it affects the stock market. Whoever we get into the White House is going to affect the stock market. If we keep putting people into this White House who don't understand productivity, who don't understand how a system works, Bernie Sanders, Obama, Clinton don't get it. Is people give them an opportunity to earn. See, they don't understand that. You've got to give them opportunity to earn money. But to do that, the government has to stay small, has to stay efficient, has to stay frugal. Are you nuts? That's the problem of the zero free money. Why do you think they want it at zero? So they can go in and grab it, push the Main Street businesses aside, elbow them aside, they grab the money, and then that way they can pay down their deficit with zero money. And because of that zero money paying down their deficit, then they figure they can grow again. And they grow their welfare system. That's what it's all about, growing their welfare system. And I told you, if Hillary is elected president or Sanders, they'll just continue the same welfare mentality as Obama, which is that welfare is a way of life. Welfare is not supposed to be a way of life. It's supposed to be a second chance. But not under the socialists, not under Obama. He said, no, welfare, I want a way of life. And same with Sanders. See, at least under Bill Clinton, he knew it wasn't supposed to be a way of life. He too knew it was a second chance. He got welfare down. He cut welfare in half. And he said, if you're going to be on welfare, you're only going to be on welfare for 2 years. And if you're an able-bodied person, you better be working or I'm not going to give you any welfare. You better be doing some kind of work. Under Obama, he cut all that out. He said, "Oh no! You don't. There's no requirement for work under me." And he took those laws and he slashed them. That's why we don't have productivity. See, and that's what this guy Williams and other socialists don't get. Real economic growth and good standard of living comes from productivity, but you don't get productivity in a socialist country. Savings, capital, and business spending. That's what's key. Business spending. If businesses don't spend, you're dead. You don't have any productivity. You don't create jobs. Our standard of living has dropped because of it. Listen to this dope, Leisman.
The U.S., contrary to what you might hear from some of the candidates, has actually been a bastion of strength. Now,
bastion of strength. As of March, the number of jobs in the retail industry outnumbered the jobs in the manufacturing industry by 3,651,000. Let me repeat. So bastion of strength when the retail industry, low-paying jobs, outnumber jobs, high-paying jobs in manufacturing by 3,600,000. Are you nuts? Employment in manufacturing declined by 29,000 in March. Are you nuts? So it just drives you crazy. See, most of the job losses occur in the durable goods industry. That's the big ticket items. TV, appliances, computers, machinery, that sort of thing. The president's economic policy of redistribution of wealth, as in Obamacare, has produced the wrong kind of jobs. 78% of all the jobs, the 225,000 a month jobs he produces on average, are low-paying part-time jobs. They're pathetic. A pathetic 18% of the 225,000 jobs are in the higher wage industries. But 54% are in the lowest wage industries. And that's why people need so much welfare. Bartenders, waiters. In fact, the economy adds under Obama is adding 6 times the amount of bartenders and waiters as they do good paying manufacturing, construction, and mining jobs. The other problem, the persons between ages of 22 and 34 are earning less now than in 2009. And the net worth of the important 45 to 54 who's starting to head toward, you better start saving going towards retirement, has plummeted by 38% under the socialist government we now have. And it's one of the reasons why 65% of Americans do not have enough money to cover $500 emergency, and why poverty has increased 50% under both Bush and Obama. Yeah, Bush is just as bad. He was a socialist, a closet socialist. And it's why the U.S. once ranked, remember, number 1 in terms of median income for adults, has now slipped to 19th. And is why, if you have no debt, you also have $10 in your pocket. That gives you a greater net worth than about 25% of all families. Are you kidding? Are you nuts? Because wages are stagnant and low. And because of that, because of the system we're under right now, the top 1% of all American families have much wealth as the bottom 90%. This is nuts. So all I can do for you is this. Like every day, we're in my gang. I can show you with my system like the spiders. I'm begging you now, you missed when we shorted the spiders. 500 of the best stocks in the country. I told you, join the gang, they were going to drop. And what happened? Was I right? Sure was. And the basket exchange traded fund with hardly any cost, they dropped 14%. You got a nice 14% return. Then the chart turned around and showed me that institution money was coming back in. Vanguard Group, BlackRock, T. Rowe Price, Bank of New York Mellon, JP Morgan Chase were putting money back in. And now it's on its way and went back up 14%. So we caught 14% going down, 14% going up. Can you do that with your 401k? Of course you can't. So with all this stuff that's going on, and the economy getting worse and worse, and especially if we get a situation where Hillary or where Sanders gets elected, they're not going to change a thing that Obama's doing. Think about this. Adjusted for inflation, or in today's dollars, when Clinton was president, the average wage was $20 an hour compared to today's $8.50. Let me say that again. If you adjust for inflation, or in today's dollars, when Clinton was president, the average wage was $20. Now $8.50. That's more than that's 57% less. That's how much we have dropped. Wages have dropped. And since the average wage is directly determines our standard of living, you can see why your standard of living has dropped and why you don't feel so good when everybody on TV says, oh, we're doing terrific. Join my gang and start feeling terrific right now. philsgang.com, 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Every month now, we get jobs. They give us the job numbers. We've been averaging, they tell us, 235,000 jobs a month. It's been a lie. That's a bogus number. The BLS, that counts the jobs, they use what they call the birth-death model system. What they do is they manipulate the jobs, so 40% of that number that you see is fake. That's right. If you take 235,000 jobs, the number really is 140,000. They bogus up about 95,000 jobs. But that's what goes on now on Wall Street. That's why you want to be a member of my gang, Phil's Gang, philsgang.com, because that way you get the truth. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Time is the one thing that we want more of as a single parent. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey.
El que Sayú no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend. And Phil Grande can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grande.
There's no question the U.S. economy is doing quite well.
U.S. economy is doing quite well. No question about it. What are you, nuts? Do you feel it's doing quite well? And this is why we got to be concerned about retirement. How does he say the economy is doing quite well? When in the first quarter, the financial sector declined the worst of all 10 sectors. The financial sector tanked. That's the most important sector. How can he lie like that? Earnings declined, making it the fourth consecutive quarter, year over year, for a decline in earnings. Our GDP came in at 1.4%. They said it was going to come in at 2%. And here we just got a word today that the Atlanta Fed said that the quarter we're in right now, that the economic growth is going to come in even less than 1%. We were at 1.4%. Top line revenues declined. Earnings declined. This is crazy. And durable goods declined. Business investment declined. And that's the killer. See, we're always told how important consumer spending is, right, to the economy. What is more important is business spending. They keep telling, consumer spending. 70% of our economy is consumer spending. No, that's not what's important. It's business spending. You got to have business spending first. It's twice the size of consumer spending. They're not going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that. That's why we look for good companies that have good patterns where we see money starting to come into the company. Give you one. Nobody in their right mind would ever have bought in the refiners. They're getting killed. We did. We bought a little refiner. We got a very nice profit out of it. Nice profit out of TSO. Then we bought another nice little refiner. And here's the thing about TSO, which was good. Think about this. TSO, if you were a gang member, take you 2 minutes. All you would have done is known that you just came to the site and you would have seen that we were watching TSO for everybody, for the whole gang. It was a bonus stock. And it gave us a buy signal. And it gave us a buy signal at around $81. We had a buy signal. Nice buy signal. It was confirmed. It went up to $91. A nice 12% return. But here's the beautiful thing. Then it turns red, telling us the institutions were pulling the money out. And now it's dropped from 91 down to 82. So we made, let's say, let's round it off, 10% on the way up. We got the signal the institutions were pulling their money out. That's how we know, watching the chart, the institutions pulling the money out. And then it went down by another, I think it was 9%. So let me ask you, did your planner ever do that for you? And so he took 2 minutes. And then on top of that, we took the spiders for our real busy gang members. We said, just buy the spiders. So we got a 12% when the market dropped. When the S&P went down, we picked up 14%. And then when it turned around and went up, we picked up another 14%. So between the spiders and that little refiner, using the PT2, which is a color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy and when to sell, you don't think that's worth trying? I don't know what I can do for you. You want to listen to these guys tell you how the economy is doing well? When it's not doing well, because we're not doing any business spending. See, instead, what these guys are doing, these CEOs who are making 300 times more than their workers, they're plowing the profits back into their own pocket, not into the business. That's the problem. And that's why we have such income inequality. But they don't want to fix income. I'd fix income inequality in 2 seconds if I was the president. Very simple. You stop immediately all stock buybacks. You stop immediately. That stops that quickly. Then you get the CEOs back on track to where they're going to make their money on productivity. They're going to make money on productivity, or they're fired. But see, they want to make sure the economy keeps getting worse and worse and worse for you, and then they mask it, saying, look at the stock market's going up, we're doing so good, so they can say this kind of crap to you.
There's no question the U.S. economy is doing quite well.
And that's a total lie. But see, they know as long as the economy does terrible, then they'll keep the zero interest rate in play. And the next thing I would stop is you got to stop with NAFTA. You got to stop these trade agreements like NAFTA and TPP. You got to stop increasing regulations on small businesses. You got to start increasing savings. You're going to increase something, increase savings rates so that we increase business investment. Stop increasing regulations on small businesses. We got to end the bad policies. If we end the bad policies, then we can tie the CEO's compensation back to the stock price. I mean, not the stock price, but productivity, instead of tying him to stock options. Every time he gets a new stock option, he's going to go buy money at 0% and push the stock up so he can exercise his option. This is crazy. And then they try to tell us. I love hearing from all like Hillary Clinton, all of them, that the reason the middle class is having problems, it's all the fault It's all the fault of the Republicans or conservatives. But here's what I don't get. Why is it the Democrats have occupied the White House, the Senate, and they occupied the Senate, the White House, Senate, the House of Representatives, and the White House, the three of them. I get so mad for nearly 16 of the last 24 years, and they take no responsibility. See, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, they don't want to change anything. They don't want to change anything. See, as long as they control this vicious cycle of wealth, they control the wealth, they control the power. They've been able to rig the economy, to rig the elections, to rig the stock market. Now, I can't stop that. I can't stop the rigging of the elections or the rigging of the stock market, but here's what we can stop. Is you losing money in the stock market, or you saying, I'm sick of the market, I don't trust it. I can't stop the trade agreements that are fashioned one way. Those trade agreements is what causes the income inequality. And both the Democrats and Republican leaders were responsible for these terrible trade agreements. You know, when Clinton and Bush, when they did these trade agreements, they did nothing to provide to millions and millions of workers a mechanism to make sure they didn't lose their jobs because of these trade agreements. At least they should have said, we're going to take care of you, we'll retrain you, and we'll guarantee you a replacement of the job, or we're not going to sign these terrible trade agreements. But these trade agreements, both of them, I remember when both Clinton and I remember when he ran for president and Obama ran for president, they both promised reform, that they would do something like that, make sure they did not lose their jobs. And when they both got into office, they didn't want to spend the political, I can't think of the term. What's it called? Political. Anyways, their capital, political capital. They didn't want to spend on these trade agreements to put in reforms to make sure if you're going to do a trade agreement, then let's protect the jobs so that people don't lose their jobs. But once they became president, they didn't care anymore. They were president. So here's all I can do for you. All I can do for you, the market's down 144 points, and I can put you on the right side of the market. Didn't I have you on the right side of the stock market when the S&P went down 14%? Well, why don't you join the gang right now tonight? Call right now. 877-600-GANG, and let's try it. Work with me. Let's see if I can get you on the right side of the market when it collapses again. And it will collapse because earnings have declined. That's why it will collapse. Revenues have declined. That's why it will collapse. Business investment has totally collapsed. That's why it's going to decline. If you think this market is going to be different than the housing con or the tech con, you think it's going to be different when we have, are you kidding? When we have sales falling apart everywhere. Join my gang tonight. Let's at least put you in the spider, show you how to do that, so you at least make some money when the stock market collapses again. Join my gang. Call right now. 877-600-GANG, or go to the website. And don't forget, Walter's Way. Great book.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande.